BuuPass has different products. So you'll hear me talk about bus here, you'll hear me talk about train, and you'll hear me talk about flights. Then you're trying to enter into a relationship with your client, so you understand them to the core. And once they come on board, now yours is to always make sure they're happy. So it's like a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. You don't want to be waking up in this one day and then your boyfriend doesn't know what you like anymore. Or maybe you are allergic to peanut and then your boyfriend buys you something with peanut, So you just make sure you... faster, tafadhali. Yeah. I call myself a zillennial. Yeah. So I usually say I'm a bit of...
Zillennial, not millennial.
There's millennial. Okay, that's new. Yeah. I'm a millennial from today.
Wagwan everybody, how are you doing? It's your girl Sue Senge, the girl with the golden voice, but you can call me the girl with the plan. I hope you're having a good one. The other day we went to the trade fair to Ru Gardens, and it was such a almost like something interesting to interact with business people from across East Africa. And now today I am seated with one lady, very informed, very well spoken, and in an industry that not so many people would actually gravitate towards, but she's doing amazing. And we are going to be speaking about digital mobility, almost how you want to move from here to Mombasa, you don't know where to book your flights, or you don't know where to book your trains or buses. And today I'm seated with one of the managers at BuuPass, Miss Njoki. I don't know why I'm just I like calling people by Njoki. If it's from Rift Valley, Kimtai, it's from Western Wafula or something. Hi, how are you?
I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for coming and for having me.
We are so honored to be here. I don't know if I should be the one welcoming you on the show, because tumekuja kwenyu.
We can do a bit of both. You can welcome me to the show. I can welcome you.
Welcome to the show. And then you?
Welcome to BuuPass.
Clock that. Yeah, so maybe you could give us like a proper intro of who you are and your role at BuuPass.
So my name is Janester Masharia. I'm the corporate sales manager here at BuuPass. So basically what that entails is I manage the corporate department, which is one of the newest babies at BuuPass. Yeah.
So what's BuuPass? Someone would ask, you're managing, you've said corporate sales, but what is it?
So BuuPass is a company that digitizes transport to try and make sure that movement of people and goods is seamless across the globe. Yes.
Yeah, so it's people and goods. It's not only people.
Yes. So majorly, the bigger aspect is people, but we also have parcel movement that we'll get to learn about it probably as I talk more about the company.
Yeah. There's something you said about digitizing travel, and I feel like in Kenya, majority of the times people are not... Right now they're trying, because that's the way people are speaking about AI, digital tech and innovation and all these things. But Kenyans have not always been responsive to such things. How has it been to operate in this space, even now when there's all this buzz about tech and innovation? And
to be honest, it's actually not been very easy because Kenyans are growing, yes, but we're not all growing at the same time. So we have people in the urban setup, like Nairobi, for example, who are very quick to adapt to change. But we also have people in the rural areas who are a bit reluctant. And I think there's a certain day I was talking to one of my colleagues about a phone call I received. So from one of the bus operators, and I think they did not have a bus going to Tanzania that day. And the guest was willing to try a flight.
yeah.
And of course, I was like, we'd happily be able to help. Where do they want to go? I can be able to book and send you the ticket. And the response I got from the client was, no, there is no way I'm sending my money to someone I don't know. I have to come to your office. I have to sit with you. I have to see the ticket. So in a world where you would think we're moving digital, we still have people who are very reluctant, who have not warmed up to the whole idea of technology. So they still want to work with the manual processes, because why BuuPass started is not for you to come and sit at the BuuPass office for me to book you a ticket. We can do that, but what we are trying to beat is that you having to move to book a ticket. Why not book at the comfort of your home, get your ticket, and then you get to leave your house to travel on the actual day of traveling. So it's definitely still a big hurdle.
Yeah, but really, I feel like the thing here is trust. So how have you been able to build that trust to your clients and customers in a way that is not also you're speaking in a place where someone said huyo ananiambia tu mambo mingi ndio ni mtrust, lakini watu wa kusema mambo mingi they're hiding something in between those words. So how have you been able to build your trust with the client?
Ever since BuuPass started, I think what BuuPass has always been trying to do is working with already well-established, trusted brands. And if you look at the story of how BuuPass started, the first partner was Easy Coach. And at that time, and still remains, Easy Coach is one of the biggest bus operators. So that being how they launched, you use Easy Coach. So when people see Easy Coach and then you say you're associated with BuuPass, they're associated with BuuPass, the trust comes in. Along the way, we also did a partnership with Safaricom. A lot of people trust Safaricom. Almost every, like the highest percentage of population in Kenya, people use Safaricom a lot. So when you say we're a partner to Safaricom, or when you say you can be able to book your flight on M-Pesa mini app or your bus on M-Pesa mini app, it becomes more and easily trustable. So we've partnered with Safaricom, different major banks, just to make sure that we position ourselves in the right way and people can already see. If you're working with brands that have been there longer, it is very easy for you to trust us. So that's the approach that we try to go with.
Yeah. I'm assuming we are in almost like a peak season for you and operating in the industry, because I feel like a lot of people wait for the final quarter of the year for them to go to Diani. Wale wa baba zangu na mabrother zangu huko Western. So in the time they want to book Guardian and or Easy Coach and to go to Western, how has that affected your business in terms of the different travel patterns for Kenyans? So
travel patterns for Kenyans are definitely they're very seasonal. You can be able to track them down. So I'd say the downside of the seasonality is it shakes business a little, because you see, your aim as a business is to make sure that you offer efficient, seamless services and everyone is happy, can be able to travel easily. But now there's a day you have maybe a few tickets and then there's just this one day everyone wants to go and there's a very high demand. So you find that day in the office, everyone is in the office, everyone is super busy because you want to make sure all their needs are met. But if you look at it, everyone knows you will travel in Christmas. Why not book a month before? Because the platform is there, the seats are available. So if you want, you can be able to book a few days or a few months or a few weeks before your actual travel. But now with how Kenyans roll, they all want to come at that time. So it's definitely a very last minute. It's a huge stretch in the industry. But now, because we've realized, I think by the day we work towards preparing for that. So you find, because we know December is high season, so even how we are planning around our leaves, just to make sure we have a lot of staff present in the office. We want to make sure that we have the right contacts on the bus side, if it's the bus or if it's the airlines. So we just make sure we are prepared and ready to receive whatever number is possible. So whatever numbers we got last year, we know we'll have that and more. So it's just more on how we prepare for that season beforehand, because a few months to that, it's very easy. Is client safety something that's of priority to you? Once I book that flight and I'm going to Diani, it's once you give me the ticket, it's done. Sister Bernard, where'd you find Not at all, not at all. So maybe something I'll have mentioned is BuuPass has different products. So you'll hear me talk about bus here, you'll hear me talk about train, and you'll hear me talk about flights. So all the three products are different products that we have. But one of the key things that is key to us is safety. So from the basic fact that we deal a lot with data, with clients' data, and we're a licensed data processor and data controller, of course, we ensure that every of your information is safe. That's the first step when we look at safety. The second step is we always have people managing. We have a 24/7 for flights available customer service. For bus, it's available from 8 to 10 p.m. So there's always someone manning that desk. There's a group of people manning that desk. So anytime you have an issue between those timings, you can be able to call. Someone will gladly be able to assist you. Someone will take you through the whole process. And it works across. If it's bus, if you call, we will assist. If it's now train, because train, we are the ticketing partner for SGR. So there are instances where SGR would have to call us. We'll have to be contacted because we're the ones managing the back end. We will happily assist. For flights, we also deal with corporates. So of course, corporates is totally different because corporates now need an account, like a dedicated team. So that's a totally special department altogether. But of course, yes, we make sure that your safety is guaranteed. If we have travel alerts, we make sure that is offered to you or you receive that beforehand. Yeah, generally in a nutshell, we have a very good team that will support you all through in case anything comes up.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I believe for you to be in the business, you must be making some money.
Yeah.
You can't have your office is such a big space, and I've seen a couple of faces here. You can't afford to keep all these people here and you're not making money. What's ROI for you, and how do you make the money for yourself at least?
So I'd say with the bus, of course, it's certain commission percentages based on the money that is coming in. That's from the bus side. SGR, something similar. It's a contract, so you get paid for a certain service that you offer. With corporates, we have our markups, and we also have incentives from the airlines and the different hotels that we work with. So of course, I think over the year they've been advancing. So when they started with bus, they realized the margins are too small, and then there's very little you can be able to do past. Like once you have all the big bus operators on board, what next? Do you stagnate for the next couple of years? No. So now that's when they decided to use that. They decided to use that to partner with Safaricom, and then because through Safaricom is when in 2017 they got the partnership with SGR. So now the SGR, they also realized that there are good margins here. But now what happens after you already have, there's only SGR. There's nothing else when it comes to train here in Kenya. Of course, we're thinking of broadening it and expanding. But in the meantime, we only have SGR. So you've been contracted by SGR, you've provided the services. What next? There's nothing more. So now they thought outside the box. Why don't we do flights? So with flights, I remember they started with B2C. So where they're on the M-Pesa Mini app, you book your flight on the M-Pesa Mini app, and then they decided to partner with banks and other telcos just to make sure that the revenues are growing through that. But now after that, they realized in just the whole hunger for growth, why not go big? And the next big thing after flights is now corporates. So Kenya is very lucky to have a lot of NGOs, we have the UN agencies, we have a lot of big companies here in Kenya, and people travel a lot. But now these people traveling, they do not travel as individuals, so they cannot be your B2C customer. They're traveling within the corporate. So that means if you want to tap into their travel, you have to partner with that specific company. So that's how they entered into the corporate space. And now with the corporate space, the margins are bigger because airlines will incentivize you or hotels will give you commissions based on volume. So of course, if Kenya Airways, for example, you're giving them X number of volumes, they're good sales, they're happy. They want to retain you as their customer. They want you to give them more traffic. So there's a certain incentive that they'll be able to give you as a company to benefit from that. At the same time, when you go to this company now on the corporate side, when you go to the company to negotiate for the contract, because you're servicing them, there's a certain team that they'll be able, if they want an invoice, they have a finance person to call. If they want a ticket, they have a travel consultant to call. They have an account manager who generally just makes sure that everything runs. So because of that service, we also have a service fee that we charge. So generally, that's how we go about our markups and how we earn. Yes.
Yeah. I want us to speak about competition, but in almost subsections, because you're partnering with bus companies, and I'm starting to think that maybe for BuuPass you don't have a lot of competition as a company here in Kenya, because we've not seen a couple of companies of your kind, at least as of now. But you're working with a lot of partners in terms of, for example, let's talk about buses. There's Easy Coach, there's all those, and these companies are competitors. So how do you make sure that you're not almost like gravitating towards giving a certain brand, or if I may say so, it's just favorism. You're favoring a certain brand because the incentive is good. And then these other ones, you're like, we'll give you breadcrumbs, don't worry. How do you make sure that you're offering almost like value for money for all the partners that you're working with?
So I'd say what makes us tick from a customer's perspective, and when I say a customer is you going to our platform to buy a ticket, you see normally, assuming there is no digital platform integrating this, and I want a ticket to maybe Zanzibar, for example.
Yes.
So what I'd do, I'd have to go to Kenya Airways, check out what timings they have, what are the pricing. Then I open maybe a jumbo jet. I check jumbo jet, what are the timings. I open a Rwanda Air. So I'd have to open different tabs, trying to read through the pricing and the timings. Whereas when you come to BuuPass, we're listing all of them on the same platform. So what we're doing to you as the user, we're giving you visibility for all your options. And I think this is what we now tell every partner we are going to partner with. So it's not a matter of, I will put you first. No. It's a matter of, I want to give my customer the best. I want to give them the best pricing. And I will list whatever you give me and whatever so-and-so gives me. So it's upon them to now decide. If they want to be competitive more than their competitor, do they lower the price? Because whatever price you give me is what I'm going to give my customer.
Yes.
So BuuPass comes as the in-between, but we always assure our partners, our interests are in the Kenyans or in our customers. We want our customers to get the best value. So we are just a bridge in between. Yeah. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to win. So they also want to win because they want to tap into your customers. So if they lower the price, who benefits? Our customers benefits, and we get a lot of traffic. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that because it takes away the thoughts or the notions that people have that BuuPass is like a broker. Because you're not negotiating. It's like you go to a supermarket and then you go to the snacks aisle. All the snacks are there. If you want to look, you'll see all the prices. It's not like they've decided to take a certain brand they put there and they put all this color and it's not that. And I really like that. But there's also something you mentioned about the times that are not peak seasons. And the traffic is not as much and you still stay afloat. It's not like when it's June, July, you close the business and then you say, oh guys, we'll come back. We'll come back in November.
Yeah.
So how do you stay afloat then when the money is not coming in as much?
So I wouldn't say the money is not coming in as much. The money is still coming in. So maybe I'll tackle it in two different aspects. So the first aspect is people are always traveling. There is no one time or one day. BuuPass issues over 30,000 tickets a day.
30,000?
On a normal, across all our platforms. So this is a bus, SGR, flights, in a day. So now when it's peak season, that hikes, that goes up. But on a normal day, we have 30,000 tickets. And why this happens is because I think Kenyans travel. It's a short weekend or there's a holiday like the 20th of October. People are rushing. They all want to go to Mombasa because it's a long holiday. There's a family event happening somewhere in Kisumu. People want to go to attend this event. So in between, there are things that are always happening. It doesn't mean that no one is traveling. But now the second way I want to tackle it is we just do not have bus. We have bus, we have SGR, and we have flights. So with SGR, of course, people are using it a lot. And with now SGR, corporates. Surprisingly, corporates use SGR a lot because it's much, much more affordable, more convenient. And then, so when you would think people are not traveling because of the festivities, corporates are traveling to maybe attend an event somewhere. Or they're traveling to go to their office in Mombasa, which same applies for flights. Because now with corporates, the season is the other way around. So in December, it's low season for corporates. The last quarter of the year, it's low season. Corporates are now toning the travels down because they're preparing to close down. And then the first quarter, you'll also realize they're preparing their budget, so they haven't yet started. And like now the roadmap for the whole year and the plan for the whole year, so there's no travel. But now quarter 2, quarter 3, there's a lot of travel to conferences and the events and the other things that they're doing. And now the other way around, when you look at bus, Quarter 4 and quarter 1 are peak. Quarter 4 because it's the festive season, quarter 1 because children are going back to school. So there's a balance, and it comes with now trying to diversify that risk. Instead of focusing on one source of revenue, they've done with bus, train, and flights, which is in alignment to the vision, because the vision is the seamless movement of people and goods across the globe. So, and people move through bus, train, or flights.
Yeah. I've spoken to a couple of sales reps, and they usually tell me about how it's difficult to handle different, because you're handling different people every other time.
Yeah.
And for you, it's not any better, because aside from handling the individuals, you're also handling these big corporations, and you're handling a lot of people. How do you make sure that you don't crash out in that one call? You're just like,
Yeah.
don't talk to me any other time.
I know.
Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, how do you ensure you're sane all through? Yeah.
I think with every career, it comes with its perks, and they're just things you have to naturally be good at. So, of course, for you to be a good salesperson, you have to be very extroverted, you have to be very outspoken, you have to be able to know how to express yourself. You have to be a very good listener, because you always have to listen to what the other person is saying. So, and one of the key things you learn in sales is people are very different. The needs of client A are not the needs of client B. So you always have to understand the client when you start, as you start your relationship. So of course there's always that teething phase where you're there's a lot of clashes when you're trying to understand each other. But once you're past that, you have to work very well towards retaining that relationship. One of the things I tell my team is it's very difficult to get a client on board. It's very difficult because of that teething phase. Like we'll have a lot going on before they come on board. So it's very difficult. It's a lot of work. But once they're on board, it's very easy to lose them. Just one small mistake, they're gone. It's very easy to now that client will go. And gaining their trust back is even 5 times harder. So now you have to make sure as you're onboarding your client, you understand them to the core. You understand this is what they like, this is what they don't like. These are their preferences. I have to maybe note them down in the system, make sure I don't frequently ask them about it. So it's like a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. You don't want to be waking up in this one day and then your boyfriend doesn't know what you like anymore. Or maybe you are allergic to peanut and then your boyfriend buys you something with peanut, So you just make sure you... faster tafadhali.
Escort that one outside.
Yes. So now in this, you're now that partner. So you're trying to enter into a relationship with your client, so you understand them to the core. And once they come on board, now yours is to always make sure they're happy. So I know what they want. How can I continuously make them happy to make sure they don't look for another partner?
How do you differentiate between a good client and someone who's just wasting your time? Because those ones where you go to buy something, uko sokoni, unaenda unaona mtu ana bargain afu nitarudi kesho. So how do you differentiate between those ones and the ones who really are serious about travel and moving around?
So what we do in our department, we have a sales funnel that we currently use. And of course, before any client is put on the sales funnel, you have to do very good research about this customer. So beforehand, before even your first meeting with the customer, you've already researched, you've known they travel to company X, Y, Z. The travel volume is this much. They have this number of employees traveling. So you now know, what effort do I need to put into this customer? Because most of the time with sales, you will not get a lot of walk-in, someone coming to you for the business. Most of the time, like 80% of the time, it's you going to look. So you're the one who decides which one is a good customer for me, which one is not. So I'll have sat down, I'll have said, Sue does this, Sue travels a lot, Sue goes to here and there and there. If Sue comes on board, Sue will give me a revenue of this much. So I know Sue is worth pursuing. So other than the other way around of Sue coming to me and talking to me about travel needs, and maybe they're not even interested and then tell me they'll come back later and then they disappear for good. So it's more of assessing the value beforehand, before you start pursuing the client.
What has been a deal that you went in knowing, this can be too good to be true, and it turned out actually to be too good to be true?
So when you say it turned out to be too good to be true, means it wasn't like a valid one, or do you mean it was actually good?
It was something that it's almost like you start conversations with someone, the conversations are going on well, and everything looks like, this one, if we close this one, we are good. And then it turns out to be, no. I wish I knew.
Have we had? No, I don't think we've had that. We haven't had that. And I'd say because of this research aspect. It's mostly because of this research beforehand. In sales, you can waste a lot of time if you don't do your research well. You might think just because company X is big and it's famous in Kenya, you just assume now these ones have good business. But if you do your research well, you will realize, you will be able to know if it's a worthy client or not. And there's one of our consultants that once told us, at times it's very okay to close a pitch even before you close it. So if in the midst of your conversations, you can tell this one will not go anywhere, or you feel they're very reluctant because of maybe facts that there's nothing they can really do about it. Maybe they'll tell you their global office manages their travel and you don't have access to their global office. That means that's a pitch to walk away from. Of course, because you never know if doors open in future, you just close it in a nice way. You're like, oh, thank you very much for your time. Like, should something ever come in future, please feel free to reach out to me. Or in case it's a personal trip now, in this instance, because I cannot win you as a business, please feel free to reach out to me. I can plan a very nice vacation for you. So I don't think we've ever had an instance of going after a client and then they turn out not to be a valid client. No.
Yeah. So does that mean in this industries, and I would want just to speak about sales, it means you can't burn bridges where someone takes you through a rough day, like, Sister Bernard, anytime I see you here, don't ever come back. So is there an allowance for you to burn bridges? Or?
No, in sales, there is definitely no, because it's more about building relationships.
Yes.
And you never know, that relationship may not work for you now, but in future it can. And weirdly, you can approach a client in January of 2025. You've pitched, then they've told you, maybe now we've done a tender and the tender will run for 2 years. And then you forget about it, or it's in your sales funnel, it goes down. And then way later, something happens to the travel agent they contracted. And then someone reaches out. She's like, hey, by the way, I remember you told me you guys do this. Right now we are looking. Would you want to come on board? So you cannot, every relationship is important because you never know when it will open up. Like just yesterday I received a call for someone. We did get them on board as a business, but they were planning a personal trip. They're like, hey, can you see what rates you can be able to get for me? And then you proceed to help in that angle. So you don't have a chance to burn any bridge in sales unless it gets to a point where there is disrespect, but you also try to step away from it in a nice professional way.
So you've said in sales, you leave the fire outside.
You leave the fire outside. They even tell us the customer is always right.
The customer, that one. So even when the disrespect comes in, you clock out, but in an amicable way.
It always has. Sadly, you always have to be the bigger person. And leave the room, but in a nice professional way. At the back of you, it's very difficult because you're also a human being. There's no way someone is shouting at you and you want to be there. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing.
I don't know if I would be able to survive there because I'm like, if you go low, I dig a hole and go
low. You'll find me at the bottom.
You'll find me at the bottom and then we can come back together.
I know. No,
really
sadly no with sales.
Have you been able to leverage digital platforms? Because I know BuuPass is, when you speak about BuuPass, you're speaking about tech and digital already. But have you been able, in terms of marketing strategies, have you been able to leverage on the platforms, and how is it going?
I think digital is all you think about. When you hear BuuPass, we want you to think of digital. And lucky for us, that's where the world is headed. Even when you think about AI coming up, everything is just headed towards that direction. So I think we've been able to take very good advantage of it. And specifically because we can easily integrate with other upcoming digital platforms. So I'll talk about nowadays, a lot of people have this similar, can we call them super apps? Super apps.
Yes.
And with every super app someone is trying to create, they want there to be a lot of transactions within their ecosystem. And luckily, BuuPass can be able to integrate and be part of that ecosystem. So we don't have to always be going after the clients ourselves. We can leverage on other existing brands or other upcoming brands. So why not log on to a certain application, a bank application? Why not book your flight inside that application? So I think we can say that way we are reaching a more wider what do you call this? Wider people, like wider, I don't want to say community, mass people. Yeah, in that way. So I think we are 100% taking advantage of that, yes. And it's working quite well for us.
Maybe finally, I would want you to also shed some light on partnerships. Because partnerships are a big thing to you. From banks to corporates to the travel facilitators like the buses, SGR and flights. What has been the importance of partnerships to BuuPass? And then also can tie that in with what has been the importance or some of the benefits of the company being part of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, so when it comes to partnerships, with everything we are trying to do, with the movement, with making sure that movement of people is seamless, we cannot move the people ourselves. Yeah, if we could maybe, but it's such a huge thing to even think about. So we need to partner with people to make our vision possible. So that means we value partnerships a lot. So if it's a bus operator, we know very well for you to make our dream come into a reality, we need you. We need you to be there. We need you to take these people from point A to B through our facilitation. So we value a lot of partnerships. We have conversations a lot with all the partners we work with. And basically, and majorly because we want our customers to benefit the most. We want, when a customer thinks of BuuPass, they just wear a smile on their face. They're like, yes, whatever BuuPass gives me is actually good value and I can be able to trust this brand. So yes, we value partnerships a lot. With KNCCI, I think we love the fact that they always engage us with everything that they have. So any upcoming event, they make sure they inform us about it, and then you can be able to sift through and see, can I be able to benefit from this particular event? If you do, you definitely join. And it has also bridged a gap because we have easier access to some of the partners that we need. I'll give you a very good example with Equity. We are trying to have conversations with Equity, and we met Equity through KNCCI, through an introduction with KNCCI because they're also a member. So I think just being members and being able to have discussions within yourselves, you can be able to find something that can benefit the both of you, and then you can enter business. Do
you have Gen Zs working here?
Yeah, of course we do.
How is it?
We have Gen Zs. Hey, so Gen Zs, I don't know why people, by the way, have that mentality of Gen Zs.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a generational thing. How would I even talk about this Gen Z people?
Have you ever had an incident where someone says, you know, I'm going for a sick leave, and then you find them booking a flight to go somewhere on the platform?
Okay, they wouldn't. What do you mean you lie to me and then you still use the platform? I'd know. When you lie, make sure I don't find out. But no, so I call myself a zillennial. Yeah. So I usually say I'm a bit of...
Zillennial, not millenzy.
There's millenzy. Okay, that's new. I'm a millenzy from today. I used to call it zillennials. Yeah. But now it's millenzy. It's same concept. Yeah. So because I can relate quite well with millennials. And I can also relate quite well with Gen Zs. So there are a few aspects of Gen Zs that I don't agree with. There are a few aspects of millennials that I don't agree with. But I can sit somewhere in between. I can comfortably have a conversation with a Gen Z and a millennial, and we'll definitely reach a good point. So working with them has also been easier because of that. Because I understand where you're coming from. So it's always a matter of helping them understand why they're here. You know? You just try, like, in a very nice way. And you also try and make their life in that company livable. Because it's also another thing. If your work environment is toxic, these people will definitely they will show you dust. Yeah. But if you're warm enough and you can be able to create that safe space for them, you show them that their talent is valuable, and this is a space where they can be able to grow themselves career-wise, they will definitely work for you pretty well. Yeah.
Do you have mental health days or a crash out corner?
We don't have a crash out corner, but we have mental health days. And just yesterday, men were complaining that they don't feel like the International Men's Day was treated the same way Women's Day was.
With the same magnitude.
The
pomp and color.
I know. Because on Women's Day, we had stickers in the office, you know, with women. But now, what I was telling my colleagues, I was telling them with Women's Day, Yes, tulijituma. It's not like you're the ones who did it for us.
Yeah.
You see, with women, we will go out of our way to make our life beautiful.
You'll find flowers here, but it's someone, I brought the flowers.
Yeah, it can be a girlfriend brought me flowers.
Yeah.
You will find maybe a cute note.
Yeah.
It's from a girl, it's not from a man. So there's like, why are men trying to make it look like we're the ones responsible for making men's day like a beautiful day?
Yes.
Why don't you also take your own initiative to appreciate yourselves as men? Even meet up with your boys because it's International Men's Day. Ladies will do that.
Yeah.
You can meet up with your girlfriend because it's Girlfriend's Day, for example.
Yeah,
and you
go
want
for
to treat
a girls'
them.
trip and
Thank you. Thank you. So
yeah.
but we definitely do have mental health days here. We value that a lot, and I think the best thing, or one of the things that made me fall in love with the company, with BuuPass, is that open culture. So our directors have an open door policy. Should you feel you do not want to go through the other channels, you feel like whatever issue you have beforehand, you want to talk to the director, they are warm enough. You can definitely walk in here, you can talk to them about it, and then they'll find the best way they can be able to help you. Should you need, even our HR is super, super approachable. She's one of the warmest people I've ever met. I even remember telling her, she's one of the reasons why I accepted the job. Because she made it look like they need me more than I need them, you know? I felt so valuable even before I joined the company.
Before there's others you meet and you're like, hey,
I know. Unaingia week 1, week 2, umesema uko kwingine uko leave. Week 2 umepotea umerudi kazi yenye ulikuwa. So yeah, it was super different. So we have a very warm, nice culture. And then it's a small, intimate company. I think we have here, the ones who sit here, because we have offices, we have Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Nigeria. But the ones here in the Kenyan office, I think we are 35 plus. So we interact a lot together. We're very close. We have end of year, like end of the month, we'll have a small party just for us to interact on a like less formal setting, just have that social interaction. And then you find the friendships you're creating here, they end up becoming valuables. You have a wedding, you want to invite your work bestie, you know. So it's a very warm office environment, yes.
Yeah, so finally, maybe what does the future look like here? Because everyone now is speaking about this. You're speaking about convenience, because also something, I feel like what comes to my mind when someone says BuuPass is convenience. Because me, I can just be sitting, I'm planning a trip over the weekend, I am working, but still it's easier for me to just do the planning at the same time,
you book
work, so that I don't lose the job that's going to pay for the trip. Yeah. So what does the future look like for you?
Future is actually very promising. We're growing by the day. As I said, corporate is our newest baby. We are 1.5 years in, and it's been beautiful. The reception we're getting in the industry, having to compete with companies that have been there over 50 years, but we're getting very warm reception, simply because whatever we are trying to build, you'll find most of the people who have built it are global companies. So maybe a company in Netherlands, for example. So you'll find they don't give you competitive local rates, or they do not have a Safari link because they don't even know what Safari link is. But now we're trying to have a very good footprint in the African market to make sure we prove to people that we understand the African market better, and we're giving you the most value within the African market. So we have growth. We have our future. When we look at our future, we want to make sure that in Africa, everywhere you're seeing BuuPass within Africa. And then eventually we will definitely broaden our scope. And then now when it comes with AI, I think AI also favors us, because that's the next thing. That's where now everyone will start deviating to. So lucky for us, it's easy to integrate AI with our systems, because we're a digital platform. So where you can have 24/7 customer service, but with AI, or maybe you can have AI plan a trip for you. All you have to do is, hey, I want to go to Mombasa, my budget is 50,000, and then AI can generate a very nice itinerary for you. So lucky for us, we can easily adopt into anything that is upcoming. So the future looks very, very promising.
Yeah. I've told you, when I hear BuuPass, what comes to my mind is convenience. What's your word?
My word for when you
hear BuuPass, one word. Mine is convenience. Yours is?
Mine will be 2 words: seamless travel.
I
Mine
like
will be
that.
seamless travel.
Seamless travel.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank
I hope
you.
someone is going to learn something. This has been such a good. I don't know. Rakim tumefika 1 hour. 1 hour. Oh, although we're almost there, right? It looks like it has been 15 seconds.
I know.
We are done.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much. I don't know. You said Janester Masharia, and I was calling you Joki. Why? Is that's your name too, right?
Yeah. It's actually, my full name is Janester Joki Masharia.
Oh, all right.
So growing up, I have always used Janester Masharia. I don't even know why. To an extent, when you see Masharia, people just assume it's a significant other, you know.
Oh, but don't confuse the angels.
I'm like, hey, just relax. One step at a time. Calm down.
I'm just a baby.
I just started. I just came onto this. I just arrived by now. But I valued that. I've carried my Masharia, my dad's name, for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So at some point I thought, why don't I go, like, what's this, Chimamanda? Like, just have
I love
two.
Chimamanda.
I also love Chimamanda. Why not have Joki Masharia, you know? So I have people.
Chimamanda Ngozi.
I know. They don't have English names.
Yeah.
And I know people say you're too westernized if you have an English name, but I love my first name because it's super unique.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's super unique.
I thought it was 2 names. Kumbe is just 1.
Yeah, it's actually 1 name, but it
such a
started off
unique
as 2 names. It's a whole story with my grandparents, because I'm named after my grandmother. Yeah, so I go by Njoki to some people, but most people know Janester. The only sad thing is Janester gets butchered a lot.
A lot. I also think I've butchered it a couple of times.
People butcher Janester. You'll hear someone calling you Esther, someone calling you Jane, someone calling you Janice, someone calling you, like, people
Janice?
just, yes,
Shukisha.
I know, tafadhali. And now you can imagine what I have to go through, because when it comes to a client, I accept it. You know, it's not the same as if you call me, I'll be like, hey, no, hey, don't butcher it like that.
Yeah.
It's Janester. But if it's a client, I'm like, do I want my name or the business? Ooh. I want the business. Focus.
Where's the money?
You're calling me Janester. I'm like, yes.
We need to go to Dubai.
I know.
Yeah, for New Year's Eve, we need to be in Dubai.
You need to be somewhere.
To
no, you can't focus
because of a name.
You don't focus on the wrong things. Yeah. And you know, with the older generation, sorry to say, they're not very welcoming to some corrections. Younger people, sawa. Older generation, unaweza mwambia kitu and then they take offense.
Madam, unasema nini hiyo?
Choose a struggle. So you're just like, okay, I'm Janess. Yeah, I think the worst I've had is James. Because of my name, J Masharia. My email is J Masharia.
Yeah.
So someone assumed the J is for James because of the Masharia. So I'm like, dear James. I responded. You see, when I respond, my signature has my name.
Yeah.
They still say, thank you very much, James.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I am gonna be a man. And then the day you meet me in person,
you're like,
I'll tell you I'm not a James.
Or is that your problem or my problem?
That's your problem. So I think that's the worst I've had. But yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much. At this point, I just want to call you Njoki.
Yeah, Njoki.
Because I don't want to start butchering Geminians and James.
Hey, James,
Shukisha Jamel, fungua security, escort that one outside. Anyway, thank you so much. It has been such a good episode. And I hope to you who's watching, you've gotten something. This is the season. Unajua kwanza chani, make sure I plug you in the right places. This is the season you want to go for the trips, the girls trips. Ile trip ya WhatsApp itoke kwa group, ikuwe an actual trip. Book your trips, your flights. If you want to go by SGR or by bus, BuuPass is here for you. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. My name is Sue Senge, I've been your host, and this is Biz N Banter. Don't forget to keep engaging with us on all our socials. And until next Monday, adios.